Welcome to the Lessons from the Animals series, video 2. In this lesson, we're going to be covering some theories from the mantis style boxing from our Ma family Kung Fu. So, the things that we're going to go over in this video are the fact that mantis have exoskeletons and that we work on angles in a mantis boxing style. So how that all wraps together is, again, the understanding that the mantis is a bug. It's a predator animal, but it is a bug, a small bug that can very easily be crushed, right? So bugs have exoskeletons because they have very squishy insides, so they need that extra framing to kind of keep them from being crushed. But from beings like us, it's no problem to just squash them, right? So this is where the mantis boxing really starts to make sense. Why it's so devious in its angles and its ways of attack is because it's a bug attempting to fight a man, in theory, right? So the idea of when you get into your mantis boxing and you're fighting the dude, you're hunting them, but you're hunting them as a bug. So you can't just go straight in at them, right? If you go straight in at the human, just done, right? So that's why mantis boxing has very awkward, weird looking angles. And what we call it is like we use 45-degree angles. So if I take one movement, for example, this is mantis enters the cave. So the idea behind this movement is that it has many layers of 45-degree angles. So one is for my arm here, I'm not punching straight, I'm arcing this at an angle like this. So straight versus arcing at this angle here. And then for my pluck here, where I take the arm and I pluck it to the side, I'm not plucking it directly across, but I'm plucking it up at this 45-degree angle here. So I'm blocking up and across and I'm plucking upwards here. And then I add a layer of three-dimensionality to it by coming downwards into the motion as I make my way through. So already, right, just this 45-degree this way and 45-degree this way creates a lot of dimensions of movement here along with my arm here. So right, if I only step, say, to this 45-degree, right, and if I do my 45-degree attack here, right, if I do it straight, you'll see here versus here, it ends up in a completely different area than what might have been perceived at first. And then if I add in the dimensionality of up and down to it, right, so this is straight across and then adding the downwards to it. So now we're adding in like lots of layers of 45 degrees that end up creating a spiral effect that end up coming at weird angles that are normally less perceptible at higher speeds, right? So we have this 45-degree angle plucking up, we have this 45-degree angle striking out, we have this 45-degree angle of stepping to the corner, and we have this 45-degree angle of changing our height downwards, kind of like in bobbing and weaving, right? So I might duck underneath the attack and then strike on my way through. So that's one way to look at it. There's every movement in the mantis boxing is like this. You'll never see, at least in our system, a punch or any technique that goes linear or straight. If you practice the form and you find any techniques that are straight, that means you're doing them wrong. Everything at least has one angle, if not more. This makes us a lot harder to perceive when we're attacking. It also makes us a lot harder to track, right? Because if I'm, again, that bug facing my human opponent, if I go straight in, squash, done. I need to fly around him. I need to be ready to jump at angles. Be quick about it, right? So a lot of mantis boxing, right? We also have the monkey legs. This is to make quick changes and adjusts. It's a very agile style. So it's not the type to wrestle with you on equal terms, but it will come at an angle and then pluck you out of your route and beat you down with multiple lightning quick strikes. So that's why we have this theory of the exoskeleton and the angles, because again, we're trying to take the small bug and take down the large man-sized whatever, right? So that's the theory of it. Never attack straight. Always attack at angles and layer angles on top of each other to make it more difficult to perceive your attacks and to perceive where you're going, which makes it harder for them to attack you. All right, see you next video.